times a night.
Good morning, Bud. Yeah, we got a lot of gas this morning. It snowed a little bit last night, but it didn't stick, thankfully. So, but it's colder than the dickens out there.
No audio from Bud.
We have no audio. Sounds like a campfire.
Do you hear me now? Test.
Second.
My apologies for the technical difficulty.
Campfire.
Do not, 1 second. Yes, I hear you now.
Good morning, everybody. My apologies for the technical difficulties. Welcome to Coffee with Bud and Bigdaddysauce. If I did not have my mic unmuted, I apologize. I'd like to again thank all our sponsors. Appreciate you. Unique Waterworks, A5 Designs, Eastside Engine Works, and Dragon Magic Productions. I would also like to give a shout out to Tech Time here in Rockport, Texas. Computer repair, gaming consoles, data recovery, whatever you need, they can fix you up. I appreciate them for helping me out with my PlayStation. I had an HDMI malfunction. They got me squared away, even told me if I had any problems over the weekend, that while they were closed, the tech gave me his number and said if I have any problems to contact him and he will help me out. So thank you very much for your time and everything you do, Tech Time. Appreciate you. Also give a shout out to the Cava Social Club in Bradenton, Florida. Good job for putting up with Squid Billy. I think Squid Billy owes us all a beer. Anyway. Bigdaddysauce, how are you doing this morning? I know they probably heard you say this, but they didn't hear me say this.
I think Squid Billy owes us all a beer.
Not bad. I think we got a text there on the phone.
I know they probably heard you say this, but
I think background stuff going on here.
Yes, and I know exactly what it is. It was the campfire. You know, the wallpaper on your PlayStation, you can change the wallpapers. Well, I have a campfire on mine. I like to sit here and look at it.
There we go. All fixed. That's awesome. All right, sorry for all that. Now we can
proceed.
Surely get this going.
Hey, I'm an old guy. We're getting We have technical difficulties. I'm learning as I'm going anyway, so if you all please bear with us, we'll eventually get our shit together and proceed. What do we have in store today, Big Daddy Sauce?
I did get to look at the sheet this morning. I had a rough start this morning. I'm going to let you take the lead on this today, and I will follow suit.
Copy that. Well, in the NVR NASCAR recap, we had the ARCA series on Friday night, an eventful night. Dark Purple took the victory. Heck of a win. In the truck series yesterday, first race of yesterday, we had victory with Jeffrey GT97. Close battle for the finish on that. I believe there are a couple clips on the YouTube channel. Check it out. New Velocity Racing on YouTube. Also in the Xfinity, X Gamer, our deaf racer, finished first. What a race. And to top it all off, after the race, everybody to go cool off, blow off steam, we go play Call of Duty. And our first match that night, X Gamer had the victory. So good job, X Gamer, man. He had 2 victories in one night, but that he was stoked. And for the Cup race tonight at 5 p.m. Central. That ought to be an interesting race, and I am so glad to be back within the mixed of all the racers. You know how painful it is to sit and watch when you can't. It's not fun at all. And I do have a little more tidbit of information. The NVR News is expanding. We will soon be on the Facebook. There will be a link on the website to the Facebook page. Also, the website is still under construction. There will be a page for the Facebook, and we are also incorporating more Gran Turismo 7 information regarding New Velocity Racing. That will soon be up on the website. We're compiling information, and VR will be starting an internal series soon, a multi-class series that is currently in development. That should be coming this fall, as well as the NVR GT7 crew will be participating in an IRO event, a endurance event with 4 drivers per car, and we have 3 teams: Team Gold, Team White, and Team Black. Yours truly is on Team Black. The car lineups, schedules, all that will be coming up onto the website. It's coming. Just give us time. I'm learning as I go. Okay. I think that, if there's anything you'd like to discuss, Big Daddy Sauce.
Well, I'd like to say that the YouTube channel is starting to grow a little bit more. We're some subscribers, and the shorts are starting to help out. So check out those shorts. Give a thumbs up on the shorts every little bit. With the shorts, the YouTube channel, the videos, this podcast, every like and subscribe is really going to help it grow.
Absolutely. Like, share, and subscribe.
The more it gets out there, the more the views we get, the more hits we get, the more people we can draw in and get that community to grow, not only with the racers, but the fans who would like to see the racing. Get the fans to get to like and pick their, get their drivers where I like this driver. I like his paint schemes. You know how the girls pick their paint schemes based on their drivers. So.
I do know. I did receive a couple messages that there were a couple folks that liked the multi-car view that was streamed during an event. They enjoyed that aspect. It gave them a multiple car view of a race instead of from one driver's perspective. However, I can't do that every race because I'm driving and I can't drive from a little bitty 5x7 screen. So that would be nice to be able to add or somehow incorporate that. The only way possible for us would possibly to record the race, edit, and then re-upload. But that takes a lot of time, and we don't have that kind of time. We aren't
It goes back to where we don't have the capabilities we had in GT7.
exactly the replays in
View it from
GT7.
multi angles, and
Yes,
it does hurt us. Again, hopefully, uh, NASCAR 25 and iRacing, and they get it
league
at
friendly.
some point. Yeah, more league friendly, and
I think the
we
more
can go
people
from there.
bombard them with emails and comments and such, I think that would probably entice a little more in towards that direction. I think the more input that they have from their customers demanding, this, that, or the other, I believe it will come. They did say that, this is just a start. There's more to come, but whether they said it was for this particular game or for their next installment.
So I'd like to take this moment and anybody listening, couple ways to watch the races live on YouTube. One of them, of course, is being yours truly, the New Velocity Racing channel here with Bud from his perspective. I also have my YouTube channel, Bigdaddysauce 53 Racing. That will also go live when I race in the series. I'm doing trucks and cup full time, and I dabble in the ARCA and the Infinity part time. Bud, do you have some of the other guys' YouTube channels so we can get those put out there?
We have some drivers, NVR Squidbilly, he streams his races as well.
What's his channel?
NVR Squidbilly on YouTube.
NVR underscore.
Yes, thank you.
Good Billy.
So
I
check out
cannot
those
remember the other
YouTube.
names, but there will be on the website. Um, I believe I can put links to everybody else's channels on the website, if I'm not mistaken.
And again, we've had some people that just haven't gone yet or can't remember or whatever, but the website is newvelocityracing.com. All one word. Lots of information, point standings, upcoming races, driver profiles, trophy room, and more. There's a lot of stuff in there. Go
NVR
check
even
it
has
out.
their own music.
So go check that out and scroll through. Just check out every section. Keep track of what's going on, what's upcoming. And it's one of the greatest ways for us to keep not only the community but the public informed and updated to everything NVR.
And if you are interested in joining the NVR community, please click the join the community, fill out that short little form, and we'll get back to you and get you set in the right direction for whether it's NASCAR 25 or GT7, Gran Turismo 7. We do dabble with some other games, but we're generally a race team, a race community. Currently, we have about 115 members, slowly growing. So all we have is majority, I think we're probably about 50-50 with the split between the two gaming platforms. So we have a wide variety of drivers from a wide range of skill sets. We are a driving community that likes to help each other out. If a driver wants to improve himself, wants to associate with NVR and learn some new skills, they're doing something. A lot of drivers reach a plateau. Sometimes you have to change what you do in order to learn something new. Kind of poetic, if you will, but that's generally how learning goes. You use a lot of folks will reach a plateau, whether you're playing music or anything else. And in fact, we had NVR Squidbilly was practicing for an event and just couldn't get a certain sector down. He went into a lobby with AMS Driver X. They talked. They critiqued what he was, his line. They critiqued his exit, his speed, braking points, acceleration points, and he increased over a second. So we don't mind helping drivers out as long as the drivers are appreciative of the help they're receiving. If you want to race with the NASCAR group in the NASCAR series, due to the amount of drivers that want to come in and participate without anybody having prior knowledge of their driving capabilities, the NVR NASCAR will be implementing a somewhat of a driver test to ensure that the next person coming in isn't going to be someone who is ping-ponging from car to car, wall to wall, and disrupting those that are trying to have a good race and taking things serious. So that will be implemented here soon as well. You're always going to have a bad apple in the bucket. It's inevitable. It happens with any sport, in any event. There's always going to be a little bad apple. You just got to pluck it out and throw it away. But with that said, I believe we're having beautiful turnouts. We don't have a 40-car field at this time, but we have half or more. So we're growing, slowly getting better. We have drivers that we're helping improve their skills, and it shows. And we appreciate the drivers who are appreciative of the help they're getting. And I believe that helps and makes a stronger community. Not all of everybody in the NVR community are full-fledged NVR members. There is a procedure to go through to become an NVR member, an NVR Lord, if you will. And those procedures, if you are interested in becoming an NVR full-fledged member, which entitles you to put the gamer tag NVR underscore in front of your name, and it gives you also other little perks within NVR. The steps and procedures for that, just email me or send me a message, DM me on Discord, PlayStation. First, you got to run with everybody. You go through a prospect period and then the graduation. So visit us on the website, www.newvelocityracing.com. Like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody watching. It really helps with the algorithms. I know YouTube changes their algorithms regularly, and I see stories about, the new algorithms don't help little to YouTubers. It helps the big ones. So I'm not a big tech guy, so I don't know much, but I'm learning.
What we've learned on our channel analytics lately is that most of our viewers on the New Velocity Racing website or YouTube channel are subscribed. Not all of them, but most of them. Great to see. Would like to see everybody subscribe, help out the channel, get the numbers. Don't forget to you gotta hit that like button. That like button is what kind of helps that algorithm also get it pushed out to the public, to those to get in their feeds and stuff. So the more likes that it gets, the better it's helping the channel reach further out. Even on the shorts that I've been creating, the like button, boom, push it out there. Um,
I like
Not
some of
hard to
them
do to just
shorts.
hit that little, yeah, it's not hard to hit that little thumbs up thing. Oh, I'm working my butt off on those shorts, bud.
Oh yes.
Looking for the best content I got according to AI that's helping me. We're doing a great job getting the shorts content that people most likely want to see.
Excellent.
So
Good to hear. I know I've
I know
enjoyed them.
everybody wants to see wrecks and crashes, so we mix a little of that in. You always gotta keep the fans happy with a little excitement, but
How
also good racing, tight packed racing. That's good to see too. That they like that because they can see
I believe
all
you
the
clipped
cars.
the Jeffrey clipped the finish in the truck race. The good battle that was going on with Jeffrey on the, I can't remember exactly who he was battling there for the finish there, but it was a good tight finish there at the end.
Oh, we got some good finishes.
No, definitely.
Doing
Good
better, getting
good
in.
side by side racing. We had some back and forth last night in the Xfinity series. That was some great side by side racing with multiple drivers. I know I streamed it from my perspective, and we had some good three wide, two wide, avoidable situations that we avoided. There were a couple situations where drivers got into each other, didn't bring out a caution, managed to gain control of their cars and proceed. That happened quite a few times. That was good eye, good hustling, good paying attention to a lot of those drivers.
Yep. So everything's going great. We're keep trucking along, doing what we're doing, and getting it all out there.
Growth has growing
Uh,
pains, so we'll take our licks on the chin as we go and proceed as with what we do and try to make things as best as we possibly can to accommodate everybody that we can.
so with that said, most people advice to anybody listening, whether you're in the league already or where you're going to join the league, track time. Cannot stress enough track time. And what I mean by that is just don't get on the game and go into practice mode or whatever. You got to get online. There is a difference. You could set up a car or run a track in practice mode. And then when you go jump online to race with real people, your car doesn't react the same way. So you need to jump into either a public lobby or a private lobby online and tune and set up and learn to drive that way. Um, so track time, track time, track time. Can't stress it enough. Learn the capabilities of your driving skills. Learn the track layout. Learn proper driving lines. Find out whether your car can hang on the high side. Make your adjustments if need be, but definitely running a line. And also, when you're practicing online, the car the cars do have real aero pushes on them, and you need to learn. Everybody needs to learn. I just say you. Everybody needs to learn how close can I get? Where do I gotta be when that aero push happens? I think we're all falling victim to where we're learning goes that if we're running towards the high side, so some of these tracks are high lined. That if you get that aero push, you're scrubbing the wall a little bit, and then you lose 5, 6, 7 miles an hour, and the guys that are behind you are on top of you in a hurry.
And I have noticed that if
And
you're on the brake, it pushes you further. So if you were to get off the brake and the throttle and turn left a little bit, that'll pull you off of that car instead of holding that brake because that brake's what's going to keep pushing you to the outside.
hmm throttle control is also a big thing. So at super speedways, of course, you can be within a half car length of the car in front of you, and you could take your foot literally off the gas completely, and for a few seconds, you're still towing. You're being towed by the car in front of you because you're sitting in that air gap.
Yep.
At
Yeah.
smaller tracks, you still have the same thing. It's not as prominent as the bigger tracks because of the speeds. So a lot of the learning lessons are going to be when to let off, how to throttle, back off 50%,
And
back
how
off
close you can
40%.
and how close you can be to the car due to the bubble. That is also another aspect about being
Yeah.
side by side. Is that bubble? I mean, some folks it'll
So what
look
the
like you're a foot away, and some folks it's not.
so what that is it happens in all of the.
You
Okay,
you're
go
cutting in
ahead.
and out, dear Big Daddy. A little technical difficulty through the Discord. It comes and goes.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. So anyway, uh, the bubble is all about the information transfer between the PlayStation, the server, and then back again. It's not just between you and the server, but it's everybody else also. So when the information transfer, so it's happening so fast, the information that you may be in one spot, but the information being traveled to the other is trying to guess that split millisecond or whatever to where your vehicle is compared to the other, and that creates what we call the bubble.
And I think that
So
also
if
has to do with each individual's speed as well.
it does, but not as much. It The ghosting issue is what that is where we get with that.
Correct.
The bubble itself is just that's the way it works. Period. There's no correcting that. Everybody, you could have 20 people in a race with the best internet in the world, and you're still going to have the bubble because the information travel time versus resend. So it has to fill that gap of where things are at. That's unavoidable. That's just the way it's going to be. The ghosting issue is the individual's side of the internet. So we're not downing anybody for, certain people can't get better internet in their area depending on where they live. It's just that's the way it is. So to try to find the best way for that individual to get the best internet connection that they can. So the ghosting is when that person's internet has a low latency or a lower signal to it, the game cannot properly place the vehicle on the track outside that bubble. So therefore, the car ghosts, which we all know causes problems for everybody, even the ghosted driver. The ghosted driver can't catch any draft.
And
It's not
you can't
receiving
draft a
that.
ghosted car either.
Yeah, and it just creates all kinds of problems. Again, it's not anybody's individual fault that it happens because most of what we're seeing is certain people like I can get great internet in my area, but so and so in Kentucky living in the hills, well they don't have fiber optic cable there. They have to go with a different type of provider, which isn't as great, and then it creates that problem. All things we're working around. It's just recognizing your internet and the internet speed and how things work. So as far as the bubble goes, be mindful of how close you are to somebody. Like if you're directly behind them, of course, a bump on the back bumper isn't going to really, most of the time, do anything to anybody.
Unless you're too close
But
to
if,
the corner.
Right. But if you're alongside, like let's say your nose is on the inside of somebody's back quarter panel,
Be
if
mindful
you're
of the
really
push.
running, yeah, but that bubble does exist,
Yes. And I
and
think
and
that
then
once
the
we
internet
all
says,
learn where that is, it's a, just like on Gran Turismo 7 when Gran Turismo 7 first came out, there were so many issues that they had with the cars twitching. I was currently in the middle of a season when that game was released, and we were trying to continue our season, but the problems that their servers they were having was problematic, and it took a minute for them to get things situated, which interfered with our series a lot. Now in NASCAR 25, we've all been experiencing somewhat of the same situation. The release of this game, there were issues, there were problems at first. We didn't start the series until 3 months after the release. That gave everybody the time to, work out the bugs for the uh, developers to work out the bugs, for the drivers to learn the game, to learn things. There are still changes being made to the game itself with the updates, the things that everybody is learning. So this is all basically a learning process, probably for the first season. I'm confident that next season will be more structured. Next season will be easier to manage and regulate with the improvements that will be coming and the things that we have learned from this season, both as drivers and as administrators for hosting a league and whatnot. It's all coming in due process. It's just the aspect of a new game, trying to understand it, incorporate it into what we want to do, and we'll make it work. We will adapt and overcome.
I think we can, unless you have anything else, we can move into the open chat segment. And with that being said, I'd like to start off with AMS Driver X. I think he has some really interesting F1 and NASCAR news. And I'm going to start a poll up on one of the topics he'd like to talk about. Hey, good morning, Driver X. You there?
Good
Good morning.
morning,
Yes, I
alien.
am. Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Good, good. Veron the Destroyer. So I hear
That.
there's an interesting. The number one thing that was a pre-show conversation this morning was the F1 wing. I Somebody said what was developed. It made me question. Really, they were allowed to do this? Can you elaborate?
So Ferrari came up with a new wing, and it's called the 180 wing. And what it does is on the straightaways, it flips up reverse, taking off drag of the car, allowing it to gain more top speed. And then it would flip back over whenever the braking would start in order to give that downforce again through the turns. Well, the difference with this wing and a normal wing is about 8 to 10 kilometers an hour.
That's a lot.
Well, yeah, and you think about it miles per hour wise, it doesn't seem a lot, but when you race in kilometers an hour, that's a big difference. And especially if you can be that average on every single straight for a whole race, that's a lap or laps difference at some point. Uh, and for the FIA to deem that legal with a few things that they've deemed not legal in the past few years is kind of interesting. So it kind of makes you wonder who's scratching who's back here a little bit more.
Who's lying in
But
whose pockets?
yep. But the other thing too, which I did a little more research on because I only seen one team doing it, but it's actually Mercedes and Red Bull have found out a compression sort of glitch in the FIA rules, basically. Both of those teams have found their compression ratios to be 18 to 1 when the engine is heated up instead of being the 16 to 1. But the rule says it only has to be 16 to 1 as the engine's cooled. It says nothing about a heated engine whatsoever. So, realistically, they're in that gray area, if you want to call it, but it's a legal gray area. And Mercedes has seemed to be the best one to find this out because they've been about a half second faster at most tracks so far they've been testing it than everyone else. So Red Bull's got a little something to do. Ford's got to get their heinies going since they're no longer with Honda, which is very interesting. And everyone has some concerns for Red Bull with Ford, but I think with Ford's racing development program, I think they're solid. I think it'll take them. They'll struggle at first, obviously, but I don't see them taking long for them to bring out some good equipment and for them to start getting wins with Red Bull.
I think it sounds like all the teams have their own little niche of what they've discovered to help them in some little way. Ferrari with the wing, and then you got the engine. So, I mean, are there other components that are going to come out that they discover? There hasn't really been any front wing developments lately, have there, in the past couple of years?
Nothing crazy. The most thing that's been kind of noticed is more parts flexing whenever air gets
Correct.
so hard around it, which the FIA looked at it closely because some of them it's a pretty heavy flex. Some of them aren't too flexible, but that's the one thing with the past few years is how flexible can you make your parts before they break. And
Well,
I
as
think
in
McLaren was the best with that.
the movie F1 with um,
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, that was a great movie to watch, and it kind of gave some insight into the goings on of a race team in regards to strategy, in regards to design. I know they had in the movie they had the issue where on the little side skirt, she developed a turbulent air foil that would help give downforce to the car in a dirty air situation. And those type of aero aspects really intrigue me. That these dynamic of the car.
Yeah, I haven't watched the F1 movie yet. I've seen a lot of clips on it. I saw some funny, interesting facts when they were making the movie about it. It does look like a good movie. I just haven't had the time or made the time to sit down and watch it. But
It's a good watch.
it is one.
It is a good watch. Strongly
I'll
recommended.
I'll say when I watched a little video of some funny facts about the F1 movie, when they were making the movie, it was hard for Max Verstappen to not pass Brad Pitt to basically give him the win.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, Max Verstappen was a trouble one in that movie. He was just like, I don't wait, let me pass the guy.
I bet he was biting his lip.
So there's a poll up on the YouTube channel right now. Will Tyler Reddick be able to pull off a three-peat?
That's a big topic of conversation there.
Yep,
He's starting from the pole, is he not?
He is.
So.
Yep.
I wonder what the numbers are of a victor starting on the pole. Might have to Google that.
I think with this one though, I don't think the pole winner is going to win. I think what this race is going to be about is who can keep their tires underneath them. That was the main concern with everybody, was trying to get lateral grip. This 80 extra horsepower is being pretty aggressive on these tires. Michael McDowell in a 10-lap run was 3 seconds difference from his fastest lap to his last lap. So there's some heavy tire fall off, and there's a few people who kind of fit in that realm of pretty solid with tires. First one for me is Blaney. Blaney's really good at saving tires. SVG is going to be up there as well. He's used to running this horsepower from running in the Supercar V8 series. He is starting a little bit back in the field, 13th, but I think he can make his way. I think he's going to take it slow, and by the final stage, he will have his car underneath him. He's going to have the lead, and he's going to be hard to pass. Connor Zilic is another popular one to be watching. He's starting back in 25th. He had a pretty rough race yesterday in the Xfinity Series. Got taken out by Corey Day. SVG ended up getting the win for that race, but it was a pretty good run. The Truck Series also ran their first race at St. Petersburg as well. And I didn't watch it. I haven't watched the highlights yet, but from what I've heard from people, it was actually a pretty good race. And the guess is the trucks went there to see how well a stock car would go around there. So it's a possible chance we can see St. Petersburg as a continued road course for the Truck Series and a possible future event for the other series, more likely.
I believe they're going to start rotating tracks more frequently in the years to come. Instead of having the same set of tracks all the time, I believe they're going to start rotating throughout the different series for NASCAR. That's what I foresee coming.
With these new generations coming up, a lot of them aren't interested in a full field of ovals. A lot of them now are more towards we want road courses. And that's where NASCAR is starting to venture out the past few years. They really weren't big on road courses ever. They had a few, but recently they've really been indulging in trying to get road courses onto the schedule. And I think that's going to help bring in some other drivers or other viewers that watch the road course, like IMSA and all that stuff and whatever, Formula One. But also, too, though, they can't go too far because you also don't want to have a schedule where it's going out of the routes for what the sport is itself. I think their biggest concern is I think they're trying to find a good road course for the chase races, because that was the one thing that everyone kind of started griping about when they took the Roval out and went to the oval again. They're like, well, there needs to be a road course in the chase at some point,
Right.
and it's everyone's feeling. And it's honestly, that kind of threw me off. I was kind of surprised that when they took out the Roval, everyone's like, well, you need to replace it with another road course then. I was expecting everyone was still up and dandy that we got Charlotte again in the chase, but the fact that they're still asking for a road course in the chase kind of shows you a little bit too of the viewers that we got. So, but I think I think this year is a good start to progression to get the sport back to where its roots were, closer to it. They definitely ain't going to be as planted as they were, but giving the cars more horsepower, with Dodge possibly coming back next year is their goal. 2028 is the latest Dodge said that they want to come in, so we're getting some older manufacturers back in the series finally, which is good. They're already got the Ram in the Truck Series, which is a good start, and then learn a little bit from there until they get to the higher series, more competitive.
Were there any other foreign automakers planning to enter the NASCAR or talk to enter the NASCAR other than Toyota?
There's been rumors that Audi was thinking about joining NASCAR, which that was completely false. It was them wanting to join F1. Cadillac was a rumor for Chevy, or to use as a front. That's not true. They went to Formula One. The only one that was considered even an actual thought to come to NASCAR, and this was even talked through the Toyota teams, but Honda was another one.
I do remember hearing about Honda.
Honda was a pretty popular one, and for a little bit, everyone thought that it was true, but it's not. And I think the reason why some manufacturers don't want to get in the sport is because of how expensive it is for it to start, especially with the new charters.
Well, not only that, they can't use a lot of their own products for the cars because it's all produced by NASCAR, and I think that turned a lot of the manufacturers away, especially the foreign ones.
Yep, because all these foreign manufacturers, they're so used to having open specs. Basically, they're not used to having this one-on spec where everyone's got the same parts. They're used to creativity.
Right.
You don't get a lot of creativity in NASCAR. What you do in NASCAR is you get a lot of cheekiness. It's
True.
the biggest. It's the biggest thing is trying to give the advantage during qualifying, trying to get the biggest advantage for fuel mileage, or trying to get the biggest advantage for just, top speed long runs, whatever you need. There's very little you can do to NASCARs now with this new Gen 7 car. And especially, too, with them going to laser scan inspections, trying to find new body parts, will be trying to add aftermarket body parts would be almost impossible. I did have an idea though that it was inspired through the F1 wing. Now, I don't think we need a wing that rotates. I think that's a little crazy for us. But what I would like to see, and I think would be cool, is how they got the normal spoiler, and then they have the add-on extension whenever they go to super speedways or whatever tracks. Right. I think would be cool is if they would implement that extra part of the wing inside of the regular wing and allow these drivers to raise or lower the amount of drag that they have on this car and allow them to go faster or slower when they need to.
That's an interesting concept.
Instead of using the throttle as save gas.
Yep. If you want to make a pass, you bring down that wing and get that drag out and make a clean, safe pass. If you want to slow down, you put that wing up a little bit.
That is a very interesting aspect. I see the logic in it as well. I mean, it's interesting. I mean that could be
that'd be beneficial at anything from a mile and a half up.
Absolutely.
Mile and a half up, that wing would be great.
NASCAR.
So we got a few people in the chat with us today. Let's go ahead and see if they want to join the conversation. We have Blazer. We also have Gamer and Squidbilly along with us today.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How's everybody's morning? You got your coffee? Got mine. H-E-B's Taste of San Antonio. Delicious.
How is everybody today? Awake? Fluffy?
Fluffy.
Blazer, are you there? Looks like you're muted, brother. Guess he's away from the mic. Good morning, X-Gamer. How are you today?
Our ARCA winner last night.
ARCA or Xfinity?
Oh, excuse me, Xfinity. My apologies. ARCA was on Friday.
Don't take his Xfinity win away from him.
Oh, I know, right? He worked hard for that one.
He worked. Yeah, he put up with a lot.
Yes, sir. He got dinged around, banged around, but managed to pull it off.
That's hard driving.
Indeed.
That's what it's all about. Well, congratulations, X-Gamer. Hello, Blazer.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, Blazer.
Good morning.
Sorry, I was away. I went to get some more coffee.
Oh, yeah. Got to have that coffee.
Where's mine?
In the coffee pot. There's a little bit left.
You get to
Be
swallow.
down there in 45 minutes.
So how did you do in this weekend there, Blazer? How was your racing weekend?
ARCA wasn't bad. Xfinity was all right until the end, and I ended up finishing 15th out of 16. So not good there. But I did have the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, good.
But
points are points. That'll definitely help.
I think the truck race went fairly well.
Oh, yes. Truck race was a blast.
But I think the racing this weekend it's starting to get better. People are starting to get better, and
As we get get more of a grip on the racing itself, we'll continue to get better. We'll, like Bud said, some changes coming more and more as we learn. We're gonna have to keep evolving, and that's what it's all about, is evolving.
Absolutely. It's just a matter of discovering little tidbits of information, trying to make it better and more accommodating for everyone. We're
We
all
also have to let the game evolve, I believe.
absolutely, and that's all part of the growth. We're growing together. The game's growing with us. We're growing with the game. So there's got to have to be a little bit of give and take, a little bit of patience on everybody's part until everything gets kind of worked out and ironed out and it moves smooth. You know, Gran Turismo 7, it took it a minute. It got to where it was smoother and better. I'm sure this will be the same way. We just need to be patient as players and still be vocal to the developers and letting them know, hey, this is what we want. This is what we would like to see. And I believe that does help, especially, I sent an email when we were having problems with wheels cutting out or guys getting kicked. I sent an email to uh, the iRacing developers for the game and let them know what I was experiencing having to host and run a league and try to do all this information, try to tally this and this, etc. And letting them know, hey, we would like to see this. Is A going to become available? Is B, C, and D going to become available in the future? Certain questions like that. And I think the more that they hear from their customer base, the better for the development of what everybody is requesting. I know there are a lot of leagues out there that would love to see a league oriented type of lobby settings to where, like at the end of the race, when it shows the lineup where everybody finished, that needs to be a longer time period, I think, instead of just quickly showing it, showing where you finished, and then disappearing and going back to the main race lobby. I think that should be available to view for a longer period of time, or something you can view after the race to get the lineup. I think that would be more beneficial as well.
They could at least transfer the finishing order to the lobby.
Correct. Because currently they have position and then fastest lap. Well, that position doesn't tell us where that race finished, and I think that's how it should be. And the fastest lap, just keep that how they're doing it. But the lineup, how when it goes back to the main lobby settings, that position order that is stationed on the left column should be the finish of that race, is my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It would make it easier for us. And I understand people come and go after a race, but when we're doing league, everybody stays there. We tally information. We get data before people disperse out of the lobby. So.
Well, we have a cup race tonight, 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Check out the YouTube channels that we listed, Bigdaddysauce 53 Racing. Of course, on the new Velocity Racing YouTube channel. Squidbilly will probably be doing his on NVR_Squidbilly.
Bud will be streaming on the new Velocity YouTube channel, from my perspective.
Check out the race. We're at Las Vegas tonight. Should be fun. I know there's some really good fast drivers out there. We did a practice run the other day. I think there was like 10 of us in there, and nobody was really pulling away from anybody, so I think really good setups in there. Should be some tight racing. That all starts again at 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Check it out. Stay tuned. Interact with us on the YouTube channels. Well, hopefully we end up with a great finish and a great racing, a great race to stream for everybody. Keep with the New Velocity Racing YouTube channel for more shorts that I'll be putting out throughout the week. Good content. I know that, like I said, the public likes Rex, but
I mean, I remember
we-
when I was a kid and we used to go to the races. That was something my brother and I looked forward to with the wrecks. I'm not gonna buttercup or coat that with butter because I tell you, man, it was. Oh, look at that! You know, it is attracting. As you get older, you know the wrecks aren't so appealing. I mean, they're kind of interesting to watch. However, the event and the racing on the track is more appealing than as we were younger with the wrecks.
But yeah, we'll keep those shorts pushed out. And it seems to be a good attraction. I think a lot of the YouTube community likes shorts. It keeps the engagement nice, short, and sweet. So keep checking out everything that we got coming up. Again, visit the YouTube channel or the website newvelocityracing.com. Everything you need to know for the most part is there. Click through the pages, familiarize yourself where everything is, and we'll keep adding and updating as we go.
Race schedule, trophy room, and VR music.
So with that, I think we're coming to the end of the show here. It's a nice, short and sweet day. There'll be more to come next week. Like I said, we're starting to get the league moving in the right direction. So that's where a lot of our focus is going right now, is getting everything panned out. Now that we're four weekends in, we see the mistakes both on NVR side and other sides. So stay tuned with us. We're working on them. We'll get it. We'll get it to where we need to be.
In due time. I think everything's coming together, and I appreciate everyone for their patience. I appreciate everyone for their cooperation and understanding that, again, this is a growing procedure. We must wiggle through and work our way through the little problems that we come across. Be patient with administration for trying to accommodate everyone to have a great racing experience and enjoy racing with each other. The camaraderie. Like I said, we have a deaf racer of whom doesn't participate in a lot of the conversation, and fortunately he has to read everything that comes across the screen. So just a little note to all the drivers when we're in chat during the race event, keep the chatter down to a minimum so he doesn't have to read everything, because that also distracts him. So we appreciate him for everything he's got to go through to be able to participate and race with all of us. And I know we
It
get
just shows our diversity.
Oh, absolutely. And I appreciate his patience with everybody else as well. I know sometimes it can be discerning, and at times it does probably become hectic to him. I know he left chat last night because there was so much chatter going on. And so I understand and hope that everybody else has more of an understanding and more respect for Mr. X Gamer while we're in race chat.
And don't forget he won it.
Exactly. So good job for you for overcoming your diversity, my friend. Good job. Great race. And with that said, I believe we're going to end this episode. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. What was that, Chet?
I was going to say, hope everybody has a great Sunday. Love see you at the track tonight, whether you're racing or watching on anybody's YouTube channel. And until next Sunday, I bid everybody a fair adieu.
Again, thank you to our sponsors, Unique Waterworks, A5 Designs, East Side Engine Works, Dragon Magic Productions, and a special thank you shout out to Tech Time in Rockport, Texas. Thank you for fixing my PlayStation. Hugo, you're awesome. And a special shout out to Cava Social Club, Bradenton, Florida. We thank everybody, and until we all get together again, please tune in tonight for watching the race. I believe that you won't be disappointed. I believe today is going to be a good race. So tune in. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, y'all have a good day, good week.
Sunday mornings at 9.